Gridiron Grinder! Hut hut hike!
All right, we are recording Gridiron Grinder. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is my buddy James. Just a couple dudes hanging out, talking about what's going on in the NFL each week. We have been off for a few weeks, and so I'm feeling a little bit rusty tonight, my man. How you doing?
I don't know what fucking day it is, anyways. So
Yeah, you're like living in no man's land over there.
yeah. I think today's Thursday.
Yeah, it's all blur for you. Hmm.
Yeah. Are we in still in October? Who knows?
Yeah, for a couple more days. Yep. All right, so I don't know. What do? We just jump right into the power rankings?
Couple things that I wanted to mention.
Mention it.
First of all, sad news in Mangold dying of
Yeah,
kidney
very
failure.
young, very young. Yep.
Yeah. So, which is sad, but I just wanted to mention that apparently there's half the team of the Cincinnati Bengals are asking to be traded.
Not surprised.
And that's about it. I think there was something
Who
out.
who's who specifically other than, Hendrickson?
I just had seen it. Hold
Oh,
on.
they missed that kick? Wow. That wasn't even that far.
Where did the fuck did it go?
Well, that's what McDaniel
So
gets for roasting his players, man. They're just like, forget you.
McKinley Jackson requested a trade or release. Third defensive player.
Okay.
So blah blah blah. Logan Wilson requested a trade, and Mike Pennell reached a non-injury settlement that led to his release.
Gotcha.
And then there's the big news in Detroit. Hutch got an extension. Was it 4 years, 180 million?
Big money, my man. Big money.
I think actually like Detroit, it's kind of low because of his injury last year. Because he was set to have a huge year last year, and if he didn't get injured, I think he would have top been one of the richest contracts ever.
I mean, it's possible, right? Nobody knows how it would have played out last year, but I have heard a lot of people basically saying that when you looked at him on a per game basis compared to Micah Parsons, he was like a significant step down statistically, which I don't know because I haven't gone and like done the math. All I know is every time I look at Hutch's stuff, they say he's like near the top in pressures. So it seems like he'd be pretty close, but you know, and so I know a lot of people were pointing to that as a reason for why maybe the Lions should slow play it with him instead of giving him a similar kind of deal to what Micah Parsons got. Which this is a little bit later than what Parsons got, but it's better than what T.J. Watt got, and so it just I like
Yeah,
Hutchinson. I think he's gotten better every year, and then it was a bummer what happened last year. I was a little bit nervous about him his rookie year. There were some moments where I thought, "Oh man, I don't know what are we getting in this guy," but he's definitely got that intensity and that drive to keep pushing and getting better, which is that's everything you want for the guy. So
yeah, and then there's the fucking tush push. Oh my god, the Giants game. First of all, they said forward progress had been stopped,
oh, I
but they
saw
gave him
that.
the
Yeah.
progress. They gave him the progress from the ball going forward
Yeah.
that was fumbled, but forward progress had stopped or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, and I,
It's
I
like,
didn't I didn't hear the whistle until after. And so I'm like,
oh,
I don't know,
the
you
whistle
know.
didn't blow till like he was lying on his back and like, oh, we called forward
And that's
progress.
I guess that's what I'm saying is like, how do you, I don't know how you call that if there was no whistle before then, but whatever.
Yeah, and then like the refs fucking blow.
That was a
Like,
bad game for the refs, man. A really bad game.
what was it? Was it Detroit? Was it the Detroit game? Was it this past weekend or was it 2 weeks ago? It was this past weekend. Not this past weekend. 2 weeks
Well,
ago. Because
Detroit was on a bye, but yeah, so
yeah,
maybe
I
maybe the
realized this was
Tampa
going
Bay
to
game.
the Tampa Bay game where they had a Campbell challenge to play. They said the play stands. Then they were called back and said, upon further review, blah 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 blah. It's like, how the fuck does that happen? Like,
Yeah,
and then you had the phantom flag and the which it was a penalty. It was a penalty, technically by the letter of the law. Why would a ref tell Dan Campbell that the call came from New York if it didn't come from New York? And then you had like the games where the ball clearly hits the Skyview camera wire, the field goal, and then there's a pass where it clearly hit it, and they're like, oh no, it's just an optical illusion. Like it hits it and it changes direction. How's that
yeah,
an optical illusion?
yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know how you fix it, man. It just you would have thought that after last year's shenanigans that it would have gotten better. And it's not even close. It's getting worse, it seems like. It's more like last year it was more concentrated on the Chiefs, right? This year it's widespread to like
Mm-hmm.
so many games are just having horrible officiating.
Yeah, and then like and then there was and I know it's not NFL, but the SEC apparently suspended an officiating crew for the rest of the season because they had such a bad game in like the Auburn Georgia game.
Okay.
And it's like Jesus Christ. Which
Yeah. That's good they're doing
I,
something though.
yeah, but it's like to suspend them, like they had like three controversial calls, and apparently all three of them, two of them went against Georgia, or two of them went against Auburn, one of them went against Georgia, and they suspended them. Then you have the whole gambling shit.
I've heard a little bit about some of that, but like I heard like Chauncey Billups is involved in these illegal blackjack games, which by the way, I told you on my flight I was sitting by Antonio Gates.
Yeah, he
Apparently
apparently
he
was.
got pulled into
Yeah.
that too. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, this is just not good. This is not good at
So
all.
what I read about it, and I forget what player it was. It might have been Gates. It might have been somebody else. They were at one of the games because they were invited to it, and they thought it was a party, and then they just got up and left. But it was so like the Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier were two of the players. There's apparently some NFL people that are possibly involved in it, links to the mafia, whatever. They
Hmm.
had X-ray tables. They had a card shuffler that could read the cards.
I saw a picture of some of it. It was insane, dude.
It was like, Jesus Christ! Like,
Yeah.
how do you get mixed up in something like that?
Well, yeah, and I heard Chauncey and like Antonio Gates and some of these other athletes, this is all just like until it's finalized, it's all just speculation or accusations or whatever. But I heard that they were thought to have been sort of like the pawns to bring people to the games
Mm-hmm.
to take advantage of, and so like they were potentially getting some kind of like spiff for bringing the idiots in to like get the money taken from by the cheating or whatever. And so it's just bad, man. I mean, we'll find out what's true and what's not, but it just sounds bad all
Yeah.
around.
So another day, I'll tell you another story, but
Sure.
we'll move on to our power rankings. Haven't done this in a while. What do you do? 1 through 5, and then
Yeah.
you do 1 through 5, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So I lead it off, or you lead? I'll lead it off.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
yeah,
been a
normally
couple.
you kick it off, might as well do that.
1 through 5. I know we haven't done it in a while. There's some changes in my 1 through 5. 2 weeks ago, I put Tampa Bay at 1. Um, and this week from last week, there's no changes. Indianapolis at 1. Detroit, I'm sorry, there is one. No, there isn't one change because then there was that. Okay. So Detroit at 2, Tampa Bay at 3, Green Bay at 4, the Rams at 5. It's kind of these teams won or were on a bye, and this is kind of where they fell after week 7 going into week 8, and this is kind of where this is where they fall now.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much standard stuff for me too. And I know that we got a couple weeks missing in the middle here, but for the sake of trying to keep it clean, we're just going to kind of like say where it's at now. And for me, my 1 through 12 stayed the exact same from this week to last week. And so, like you, I made the bold move
Fuck,
of
Andrews
putting,
again.
yeah, just saw that. Yeah. I made the bold move of pushing Indy to 1, and then Denver at 2, Philly at 3, Kansas City at 4, and Detroit at 5. And this past week, they either all won or they were on a bye, man. So it was a very quiet week, which, kind of helps since I wasn't even here, right? So that's good.
Yeah, and for me at 6, I brought Kansas City back into my top 10. They're playing really really good
Yeah, they gotten a
lately.
lot better.
They've figured it out. They moved up 5 spots from where I had them last week. Would have had them last week. Bills stayed the same where they were last week. Kind of got stuck here. I think going into this week, it'll really who the Bills and the Chiefs really are will be evident after this week. 8,
Yeah.
I got the Chargers. They didn't move. 9, I moved the Broncos up 1 spot. And then at 10, I know you probably think I'm crazy about this. I moved. This is probably this. Is this my? Yeah, this is my biggest move up. I moved the Patriots up 8 spots. So, but from the last time we talked, I moved them up 10 spots to number
Okay.
10. Patriots are playing really good football.
Yeah.
Drake May looks fucking phenomenal, and I just I like what I see. I like what I see in New England. New England, they're leading the division. Um, shit, like
Yeah.
who would have thought that after last year?
No, I mean, I thought they'd be okay, but the way they started made me think it was going to take a little more time than it has. And I've got them in my next tier, but not too far behind. And so, in this tier, I've got Green Bay at 6, Tampa Bay 7, Buffalo 8. Then I've got the Los Angeles Rams at 9 and the Seattle Seahawks at 10. And so, I do remember vaguely before we took our break there that I was starting to come around a lot to Seattle. And so,
Mm-hmm.
now I got them in my top 10 here. Buffalo, Buffalo, the knock I got on them is that, you get a lot of analysts basically saying, oh, they can beat up on the crappy teams like Carolina, but they struggle against the good teams. And, you're basically calling it out. We're going to find out this week, can they do something about Kansas City, or is this just going to be their MO all season? And so, and then Tampa Bay at 7, I like Tampa Bay a lot. They got hurt last week on my board. Just the way that some of it played out, it ended up kind of like overly penalizing them. But also some of that is because they're still decimated on the offensive line, and that
Mm-hmm.
game against Detroit made it like very obvious that it's going to be a problem for them. And so that's my 6 through 10, man.
Speaking of Tampa Bay, I told you my sister-in-law, she She moved. My wife's sister moved to Florida. Right? I told you that.
Probably. I'm not sure.
So she works at a restaurant in Tampa. And apparently, one of the regular customers is Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, nice.
But that's a story for another time. Just a little tidbit. All right, 11. I have the commies. I mean, the Commanders. They're starting to fall down my board. If it was a little bit of a worse team than Kansas City, they might have fallen further, but they fell 5 spots. 12, 13, 14 kind of got blocked here. Seattle was on a bye. Houston won. Philadelphia, they beat the Giants, but there was really nowhere for them to go up.
Yeah.
And then at 15, I have the 49ers. I'm out on the 49ers this year.
Too many injuries, man.
Injuries, it's just whatever. Like not their year. I thought they were going to bounce back because they have good years in the even years, bad years in the
Yep.
I'm sorry, good years in the odd years, bad years in the even years. I thought it was cyclical for them, but I'm just out.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. Obviously, the injuries are crazy, but, McCaffrey in the running game at least looks washed. He looks like he is now an Eckler receiving only kind of back. Wow, that was such a weird throw.
Yeah, that's what I kind of saw it out of the corner of my eye. It looked really weird. I mean, it was a good catch, but
Yeah, but it could have been a way bigger play if he threw it better.
it looks like the flag's going to be on Miami, though.
Oh, Schnitzel. Okay, so for me at 11, I got the Chargers. 12, I've got the Patriots. 13, Houston. 14, Baltimore. And then 15, San Francisco. With Houston, I would just say, the question is, are they finally getting it in gear here? They had a good showing against San Francisco, but it is like an injury decimated San Francisco team. And then Baltimore at 14, maybe it's a bit premature to be pushing them up like this, but good night, bud. But it just seems like, relief was on the way, which we see tonight. Lamar's playing. And so I just kind of like
How the
preemptively said,
fuck is that tripping? He fell down. The guy didn't fall. Like, he didn't hit the guy. How the fuck was that tripping?
or is he a good actor, James?
No, but he didn't even touch the defender.
Well, the defender had to jump over him.
But tripping is with your
It's
legs.
weak. It's weak, dude. I got you.
All right. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Some
talk about bad
language
refs.
on the sideline. Yeah. All right. Back to you at 16.
All right, 16. I have the Steelers. Dropped them 1 spot. Vikings. Respect to Carson Wentz.
Oh, he didn't get it in.
Respect to Carson Wentz for the Vikings. He was playing with his hurt shoulder for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man.
We didn't hear anything about it until they didn't need him anymore because McCarthy's back. But Minnesota dropped 1 spot, 17. Baltimore went up 2 spots to 18. I'm still not certain Baltimore. I'm not certain about Baltimore yet. They beat the Bears, who I had ahead of them, so they got a little bit of bump. Bears, 19 stayed the same. Jacksonville was on a bye. This is a rare instance where I moved them up on a bye, and it's going to be common, but this is also because of I had to make an adjustment on my board.
No, that's fine. Sometimes you got to do it. It's just the way it works, and it's your board. It's your board. Do what you want. So at 16, I got Chicago, 17, Washington, 18, Atlanta, 19, Pittsburgh, 20, Minnesota. I thought it was pretty funny that 2 weeks ago, Pittsburgh lost to, or was it 3 weeks ago, they lost to Cincinnati? I don't even know because the last couple weeks had blended, but we were talking about it. We both picked Pittsburgh to win, but we both were like, "Oh, I'd love to see Flacco and Cincinnati upset Pittsburgh," and then it happened. And then they played Green Bay this past week, and I think most people expected Green Bay to win, but of course, it's like an Aaron Rodgers revenge game, and so I just had to laugh a little bit that they lost that one, and so.
Yeah.
Um,
And we got 30 seconds, so
oh, so
I'll
we'll wrap
catch.
it up, and we'll be back in 10.
All right.
All right, my man, we're back. Where did we leave off? 20, 21?
Yeah, you hit 20. I'm about you hit your 15 or 16 through 20 talking about Minnesota. Um and then the bullshit tripping call happened and I lost my shit. All right. 21 Carolina. They really moved up because of the fact that I dropped the team way the fuck down.
Okay.
22 Dallas,
I just saw
23
it.
the
I just
Raiders,
saw it. Oh,
24 the
all right.
Giants, and 25 Tennessee. That's the same thing. Like they moved up because I just
Sure,
smoked the
sure.
shit out of a team.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're feeling a little bitter about something there, but oh my gosh, I didn't see it because I was farther up on my spreadsheet earlier, but okay, we'll get there in a little bit. All right, 21 Jacksonville. They didn't have a game, so they didn't move. 22 Carolina, 23 Dallas, 24 Vegas, and then 25 Arizona. In this chunk, I would say, and I know we're a couple weeks off here, but I didn't move Carolina from last week, and nobody was expecting them to beat Baltimore or Buffalo, and so whatever. But Dallas at 23, they're really looking like dog shit, but they've kind of been getting locked into my board where honestly, like the bottom half of the league this year it seems a lot of like interchangeable garbage to me. Like normally by now you see like some solid tiers, right? It just seems like we're living in a world where after 15 and even 15 is a debatable spot, but it's like any of these teams could just be the worst team in the league. It's so weird watching them play, man. And um so I don't know. And then with Vegas, Vegas and Arizona, they're just down there because we know they're that bad. But it's all good, man. Back to you at 26.
26, I have the Jets. I know it's an aggressive move up from where I would have had them last week, um, or 2 weeks ago, even. But also, like, I didn't know what to do with them because, like, all these teams around here fucking lost
Yeah,
and
they
they
just suck.
won, and like, all these teams suck. So, and 27 Cardinals, they run up by. They stayed locked in at 27. Saints at 28. They, they lost. I don't know what the fuck to say about the Saints. Like, um, I kind of wanted to move them down, but also I smoked the team that was ahead of them, so they ended up staying the same. Cleveland, same thing, kind of locked in. 29, 30. I have the Dolphins. They moved up 2 spots. Um, we'll get to a little bit more when we get to my dumpster fire, but there's in the dumpster fire, this range here, it's kind of like which team won, which team lost type of thing.
Yeah, I hear you. I get some of that. Yeah, and, I got Miami at 26. I moved them up 2 spots, and I don't, you might be seeing it now, but I had this comment of, "Oh, decent win, I guess." And now that I see what you did on your board, I think that the "I guess" part of that seems to be an agreeable thing, right? So, uh, at 27, I got the Jets. They beat an inferior team barely, and so it's like, man. But I also look at the Jets and I'm like, they could, just the way some of these games shook out, man, they could just as easily have 3 wins right now and be at like 22 on my board. And so it's just weird. 28, I got the Giants. I do think Scadaboo being out for the year
Cool.
is going to affect them. He was there was some hype with him and Jackson Dart, right? And I think losing him takes away some of that hype. And so, and it was a gruesome, gruesome
Oh
injury. I'm sure
fuck.
you saw it. Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah.
saw it. And then I got 29 and 30. I got Cincinnati and Cleveland. Um, they basically snuck out of the dumpster fire last week with a couple wins, but it's still pretty much garbage at this level. So back to you for your dumpster fire, my man.
All right. 31, I have Atlanta. This is the team I've been talking about why some of these
Yeah,
teams moved up that probably shouldn't. Atlanta looked like dog shit. They've looked like dog shit for a couple weeks now, and I finally said, fuck it. I'm moving them. Dropped them 14 spots to 31. I did have Miami as my worst team, and the Falcons lost to my worst team, but but Cincinnati moved back to my third to the last spot, number 32. I had moved them out after beating Pittsburgh, and I just moved them right back in after losing to the Jets.
yeah.
But I mean, Cincinnati, like we talked about it a little bit, like what the fuck is going on there? I know Burrow's out, but Jesus Christ.
That whole team's just kind of given up, man. They had the 1 week with Flacco where it looked like, oh, hey, Flacco can get the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and now all of a sudden people look like they're trying a little bit, and then it just immediately flipped, right? Like they should have beat the Giants. They were up by like fucking 16 or
Mm-hmm.
something, like at the end of the third, and they just let it piss away. And so, I'm not surprised that there's like a revolt going on there in Cincinnati right now. But then with Atlanta, man, people have been coming out saying, oh, see, Kirk Cousins, he's washed. He looks like garbage, da 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 da. It's like, well, what is his incentive to do anything right now? It's zero. Why would
Mm-hmm.
he fucking go slinging it and take some crazy chances or risk getting hurt or whatever? Cousins just fucking whatever. He's just back there doing his thing and, playing on a team that fucking screwed him over. So whatever. But is what it is.
Where's the
Uh,
flag on that?
oh yeah, that's a fucking horse collar. And then yeah, so my dumpster fire, I've got the Saints and the Titans. I think that
Oh,
you can.
it's not a horse collar. Wow.
Oh yeah, you could say that a lot of this bottom stuff is interchangeable, like we talked about. But that's where I'm at right now, Saints and Titans, and that can change at any given time. So yes, that is the power rankings, my man.
All right. Then we're on to the
Sad
fucking
times for you
picks.
on the game picks.
So, like 2 weeks ago, I didn't do bad. I got 11 right. You somehow got fucking 14 right. Motherfucker.
Oh,
There's got to be an error there somewhere.
double
Um,
check it. Double check it because maybe my spreadsheet favors me. Maybe I got that subscription, James. That
yeah.
trickster subscription that our buddy was bitching about.
And then fucking last week, I fucking tanked. Like, I didn't. So, because you were gone, I sent you the picks really way early. I sent them with the 2 weeks ago, week 7 picks, week 8 picks at the same time. I didn't go back and revisit it. I can see three picks I probably would have changed from what I saw if I would have remembered and gone back and revisited it. I
Yeah,
didn't. Well, my bad. I have 69 correct for
69.
57%. You have almost 72% overall with 87 picks correct.
I'm pulling away, man. I'm
You're
pulling
pulling
away.
away, just like everything else that's going on right
Yeah,
now.
you would think that this would be the time that you would be excelling because you could just like dive in, watch
Well,
every game, go
well
super deep.
like I said earlier, I don't even know what fucking day it is anymore. I'm just so
Yeah.
lost. I'm like rudderless right now.
All right. So let me just say this real quick about week 7. I had 14 wins. And the crazy thing is that there were only 15 games that week because of a couple buys, right? And
Uh-huh.
and we both talked before the Pittsburgh game that I wanted Cincy to win, even though I picked Pittsburgh. That could have been a fucking 15 out of 15 week, James. Oh God, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Good job.
Well, come on. You
No,
just,
good
you
job.
know,
That the good job was
yeah.
legitimate. It was a legitimate good job. Like I was mimicking the fucking awesome part, but
All
it's
right, all
seriously a
right,
good job.
all right. It's fine, dude. You know, it's just whatever's going on this year, you're out of sync. You know,
Yeah.
you'll get back at some point. It's you know, I mean, how you doing on fantasy? I'm a bottom feeder. You got to be doing better than me.
Well, I beat the shit out of you one week, so
So yeah, so there you go. You feel a little better about yourself.
yeah. But like everybody on my fucking team gets hurt.
Well, you still got more than two wins or whatever I got, right? So yeah.
Yeah, like if I like Worthy was out for a while, then and Pearsall's hurt, and fucking Mike Evans. I don't even know what to do, Mike Evans. Like I don't remember where I drafted him, so I haven't.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't remember where I drafted him, so I'm just throw him on the IR, and I'll deal with it at some other point. But
Yeah, you got
um,
the IR spot. You can worry about it later. See, I got him in my other league, and so I just dropped him because there's only one IR spot there, and it's like, well, I already have another guy in IR that's supposed to come back, and so I'm like, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, you know, whatever.
yeah, and I see you dropped fucking Kyler.
Yeah, it was about time, dude. He's just dragging me down.
So we'll
You know,
talk.
when you
We'll
got
talk.
guys like Sam Darnold fucking lighting it up, and Kyler's, you know, not even in like the top 20, it's just like, come on, man, it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah. So tonight's game, we're both on Baltimore. It's two shit teams.
Yeah, I mean, I
Baltimore's.
think Baltimore's coming back, right? You know, they got Lamar back. They started looking better against Chicago. You know, I think that I'm not saying that they're going to like start winning out and make it to the playoffs, but I just, I think going into this game, to me, it was, them clearly being better than Miami, which is like a legit bottom feeder team this year.
Which that commercial that Switch commercial just reminded me of the other thing. Brandon Graham, unretired
Oh, yeah, I
after
saw that. Yeah.
after Zadarius Smith retired 6 weeks in. Anyways,
I like Brandon Graham from the University of Michigan.
speaking of University of Michigan, fucking Russ were fucking sucking University of Michigan's cock this past weekend.
All right, so let me just I know we're sidetracking here, but have you heard anything about some Brian Kelly, the University of Michigan rumors?
I haven't. I'm hearing was it not LSU? Penn State rumors.
Okay, so what is going on with him in LSU? Is he
They
already out?
He's out.
They
They
fired
fucking
him?
fired his. He got like a $36 million buyout.
I mean, you know me, I dislike Brian Kelly quite a bit, but
Yeah,
um, yeah, I heard Michigan is like one of the front runners to get him. And okay, but you're here in Penn State.
yeah. I'm hearing Penn State.
Gotcha. Okay, and I heard Michigan because his time in, Grand Valley State, Central Michigan, and then Notre Dame and Cincinnati, basically they were saying he has one of the deepest pipelines in Michigan in those like tri-state areas, but Penn State's like right there too, right? So,
Yeah. So I'm hearing Penn State for Brian Kelly. Um, I just like so my beef is there was a big play early second half. It was like a game momentum changing play, perfectly timed by I forget who the blitzer was. Perfectly timed. He was onside when the ball was snapped. but because he was in the backfield so quickly, they
They just
fucking
called
called
it.
him. They called him offsides. He perfectly timed the snap. Like the ball was snapped as he was crossing into the neutral zone.
Yes. Thieving bastard stable boys. Yes.
Caused a fumble, recovered by Michigan State. Like it's just like why? How the fuck are refs so fucking terrible?
Yeah,
Do
they're
they have
garbage this year.
do they
They're
have money
garbage.
on these games? Let's
I,
look
I,
into
I,
that.
whether they have money on the games or they're working for the fucking mafia and getting a little side action, they
Like
have
what's his name?
some
The NBA
incentive.
ref?
Yeah, there's something
Donahue?
going on, dude. There's something
There's,
going on, dude.
yeah.
It's bad. It's really bad, dude.
Anyways,
All right,
first
so
game
yeah,
we have a normal week. We have a normalish week. No London games. Nothing. We have 4 teams on a bye. First up, we have Chicago at the Bengals. I would love for Chicago to lose.
yeah.
I would love for them to fucking lose, but I don't think they're going to lose to the Bengals, whose entire team's fucking revolting.
No, yeah. I mean, I hear you. I think that a couple weeks ago, the Flacco, rally win over Pittsburgh was encouraging, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they've fallen apart very quickly since then. And, that little rally's done now. And Chicago, they have these glimmers of hopes like every other week almost, it seems like, where
Mm-hmm.
you're like, damn, they could be one of the better teams. And then they do this weird shit to just like shoot themselves in the foot. And fucking Ben Johnson always has just this smug look on his face on the sideline, like he fucking hates Caleb Williams. And it's like, well, yeah, you guys have some dysfunction going on there that you got to work out. But I got to believe they're going to beat Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. Speaking while we're talking about this, because they're I'll talk about it in a second. Never mind. I didn't see them. I was thinking they were on a bye. But
Sure.
next up, we have the Vikings at the Lions, which motherfucking prime game in the 1 o'clock window. Of course, because I'm fucking 100 miles from LA. They want to force the Rams down our fucking throat, so I don't even get to
Uh,
watch the fucking Lions game. We
yeah.
have the Vikings at the Lions. I have some concerns with I had some
Why?
concerns
Because
going into
JJ McCarthy's coming back.
no, I had some concerns going into week 7 with all the secondary injuries,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but the secondary played fucking outstanding.
yeah.
Like
They're looking better.
and I think I do have a little bit of concerns because there's not that much tape on McCarthy but you know what? I'm going to roll with the Lions because it's at Ford Field and I don't think McCarthy's that good.
Yeah, I would say that I'm not like totally sold yet on where the defense is at because the Tampa Bay game, I think, is deceiving with how injured their offensive line was. And I think that, when you can get defensive line pressure very easily because of that, it obviously
Mm-hmm.
like makes a world of difference for the secondary. And so I think if we play a team with a better line, which could be Minnesota, it could be more problematic. But I'm also not a JJ McCarthy fan at this stage of the game. The only saving grace for him is that he's got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ
Mm-hmm.
Hawkinson. And so all you got to do is give him a little bit of time, and one of those motherfuckers is going to get open, right? And so, but with all that being said, their defense has not been as lights out as they were last year, Minnesota's. And so I still, I'm still huge on Detroit. It's been ever since week one, man. They crushed my soul in week one, and pretty much every week they've been earning it back. And so, got to go Detroit.
Then we have, which I wish they were playing a tougher team, the Panthers at the Packers.
Yeah,
again, I would love to see Green Bay lose, but I don't. I don't think Carolina can do it. Like they had
No,
some
dude.
glimmers of a good team, and then they went back to the fucking dog shit team they are.
No, and Green Bay's trying to fight with Detroit for that top spot in the NFC North. And so
Which
that
weird ass fucking stat
what's that?
this week. So I want to verify it. I want to verify the age, but so Jordan Love turns 27 this season.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, go ahead.
So Jordan Love turns 27 this season.
Hmm.
Brett Favre won his first Super Bowl at the age of 27. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl at the age of 27.
Bart Starr.
Bart Starr won his fucking first Super Bowl at the age of 27.
Yep.
Fuck, I hope not.
And those are basically the only four quarterbacks that Green Bay's even had because they've been like so goddamn good at just finding a franchise
Yeah,
quarterback and hanging on to him for 15 years.
yeah. So I hope it breaks this year,
It'd be
but fuck,
wild. It would be wild.
that'd be
I mean,
fucking crazy.
I don't believe in juju black magic like that, James, but you never know. There could be some crazy shit going on in the universe, right? And so
But it's kind of difficult to ignore when it happens twice. Then it happens a third time.
yeah, the third time it's, as a day trader, I would say, oh, you just got third taps onto the trend line. It's pretty solid, right? But then
Yeah,
usually the fourth time, that's when you get fucked. So,
yeah. All right, sorry, I digress. You're on the
yeah, I'm
Packers,
obviously on Green
unfortunately.
Bay. Yeah.
Denver at Houston. I don't trust Houston. Houston is looking a little bit better, but I just don't trust them. And Denver's playing fucking phenomenal football right now.
Yeah.
So I'm on Denver.
Yeah, I'm on Denver too, and I'm, at this stage of the game, I try to rely on my board and I put a little bit of a sway for home field advantage, but there's nowhere near enough of that for me to switch it to Houston. I do like that Houston's got some momentum, and I saw them in the locker room after that last game. They're feeling good about where they're going and what they're doing, and that maybe that they've finally been getting it together. But I still think Denver is just a superior team, so I'm taking Denver.
And then we have Atlanta at the Patriots. It'd just be my fucking luck that Atlanta wins this fucking game after I put them on my dumpster fire.
Yeah, right after you
And
just destroy
and
them. Yeah.
and I moved the Patriots up to my top 10. It'd just be my fucking luck this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going to be on the Patriots.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm taking the Patriots here too. Everything suggests that that's the right call. What I would say out of just a sign of caution is that some of the Patriots' wins have been against soft teams, and um, and I also do believe that their roster is still fairly weak, that they've just been getting that Vrabel touch, right? Where they've been outplaying their
Yeah.
talent level. And so, I think they're still susceptible where any week a better team could come in and beat them. I'm just not sure that it's Atlanta. And so I'm going with New England.
Then we have the 49ers at the Giants. Now, I'm not wholehearted on this, but after I made my picks, I saw a trend and I was like, I fucking got to find one to go the other way. Um, and I think this is the best of all of the games. I think this is the best shot for me for it. So I'm going to go with the Giants.
That's fine. You're just trying to go against the grain. And here's the thing. When I
How the
made the
fuck do you
picks,
not? What the fuck was that?
oh yeah, that's fucking stupid. When I made the picks this week, there wasn't really any question about my picks. When I looked at my board, it was all pretty cut and dry. And so I could see this being a difficult week for you to try to like manufacture uh, a different team to win, right? Because I know you're feeling the pressure being down, and I could just say this isn't one of those weeks where you got like such tight matchups. This week it seems like every game is like very obvious top tier team, bottom tier team. And so in this one I took the 49ers. I would say the Giants have been playing hard all year. They've just kind of come up short consistently all year. San Francisco, despite the injuries, has also been playing hard, but finding ways to win more times than not.
Yeah.
And so I still have San Francisco a decent amount higher on my board, which is why I picked them, even though they're on the road.
All right. Then we have the Colts at the Steelers. I don't like the fact that the Steelers are coming off a hard loss to Green Bay. Which, what the fuck was up with those jerseys?
Everybody's basically just saying, just ugly, stupid looking jerseys.
Well, they didn't do it right. Like they're supposed to it's supposed to be a throwback jersey to like the 1933 jerseys they wore, but in 1933 the stripes went all the way down to the pants. This cut off
Gotcha.
like halfway down. Like, what the fuck? It would have looked tight if they would have had the stripes down, and they couldn't put the logo in the middle. I understand that. Like the old jerseys, like they did that the throwback jerseys right 10 years ago or so, back to the 1933 jerseys. This one was just fucking garbage. With
Gotcha.
that being said, I want the Steelers to fucking lose out. I want Aaron Rodgers to fail. I'm going to pick the Colts. Colts are playing fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, they're the Cinderella team this year. And I know that neither one of us in our wildest dreams thought we'd be sitting here like rooting for Daniel Jones like this, but we are. That's the reality of it. We both have them at number one on our board. I'm going with the Colts, man.
And we have the Chargers at the Titans. And in the words of Cam Ward, the Titans are ass. I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, that's why they're in my dumpster fire. Cam Ward is not even a believer in his team, and he's supposed to be the franchise savior that's supposed to be, hey, we're having a hard time, but we're learning every week and we're going to get better and we got to clean these things up. And, there's a lot of politically correct things that he should be saying, and he's not. He's basically just bashing the team, which to me, James, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but to me, that's a negative reflection on him.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that means he is not a true franchise quarterback, at least not yet. Maybe he'll have some growing up that comes and things will change. But, as a franchise quarterback, you always need to be speaking through a different kind of lens or whatever, through a different, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I'm taking the Chargers. Even though the
to
Chargers' offensive line is atrocious, I'm taking the Chargers.
And to clear it up, Fox can only show one game this Sunday, so they're showing the afternoon game with the Rams for some fucking reason. Because we have the Saints at the Rams. What the?
Yeah, everybody's pissed because he couldn't have just fucking launched it. Come on, man.
Yeah, Saints at the Rams. Saints are a shit
with
team.
with the rookie quarterback starting.
Oh, show's starting? I didn't even
Yeah.
see that. Either way, I'm on the Rams in that game. She's had a lot of work done. She's had a lot of fucking work done. Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
She doesn't have the duck lips like all the chicks nowadays. So I don't know, man.
She has. I'll find it.
That's fine. I just when I see the duck lips, I'm just like, oh, come on. But I'm taking the Rams here. The Saints, they're in trouble, and maybe they'll get a little breath of fresh air with the rookie quarterback that nobody knows what to expect from them. But the Rams defense has been playing pretty well this year, and I think that they'll feast on a rookie, and so I'm going Rams.
All right. And then we have Raiders. I'm sorry, the Jaguars at the Raiders. I can't pick the Raiders to win. I just can't.
Mm.
Um, I Raiders like I like Geno Smith. I like Pete Carroll, but fuck, they're playing like shit.
Yeah, it's nice that their running game is starting to kind of come around, but there's just too much missing from that roster. And and I like Pete Carroll, but he's not been able to coach around those gaps. And I think that maybe he thought he could with Geno Smith. I kind of thought maybe he could with Geno Smith until we saw how bad the offensive line was. And I still just think, you know, it's not like the Lions in week one offensive line bad. This is a perpetual problem for them week in and week out that they've not been able to fix. We're at a point in the season where they're not going to be able to fix it until next year now, which means there's just no real hope for the Raiders, barring some kind of a miracle turnaround here. So Jacksonville.
All right, then KC at Buffalo. We've talked about it. I don't really trust Buffalo right now. I trust KC a little bit more. This is one where I could go the other way, but I just don't see Buffalo beating Kansas City the way the season's playing out. So I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man. I would love to pick Buffalo, but Buffalo, like we were talking about, man, they get knocked because they beat up the poor teams and they get their asses kicked by the good teams. And Kansas City started the year really dicey, but they've rallied hard and they've gotten guys back. Although I think Pacheco is going to be out now, but minus that, they've gotten guys back and they've been playing great football these last couple weeks. And so there's really no reason for me to pick Buffalo over Kansas City, even though it's in Buffalo.
Yeah. All right. Then we have Seattle at Washington. Washington's kind of playing shitty. I don't know. I don't know the status of Daniels in this game, but I can't trust Mariota.
Yeah, I think Daniels is like a 50-50 thing at this point.
Yeah, if Daniels is playing, I might revisit it, but I don't trust Mariota at all. I think Seattle's playing pretty good. Darnold's looking really good again. I'm going to go with Seattle.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle. Their defense has been really strong this year, and they have this crazy efficient passing game, despite being one of the lowest pass attempt teams in the league. And so Seattle has a lot of really good stuff going for them. I can't believe I'm saying it just because I never thought that Darnold would be able to continue all of what he did in Minnesota forward, but I think even if Daniels comes back, I'm still sticking with Seattle.
All right, then we have a thrilling Monday night game. And fuck, I don't know why. Like, Arizona's trying to cover up Kyler Murray's status for the game, just like fucking Baltimore did going into last week.
Yeah, I heard he's expected to play.
I don't give a shit if he's expected to play or not. I don't like Arizona. Arizona at the Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys either. I want to pick this as a tie, but it's not likely to happen, so I'm going to go with Dallas.
Yeah, and I'm taking Dallas as well. And the thing is, we talked about a little of this in the preseason where Arizona really they for whatever reason they were not reinforcing their offensive line like they should have done. in this past offseason. They were letting guys go, and they weren't that good to begin with. And I know that Kyler's a scrambler, but you know, you're asking him to basically put the team on his shoulders when his top receiver is really playing like, I don't know, maybe a decent number two on most teams. And so all he's got is like really a tight end in like a borderline two. It's just tough. And then they lost James Conner, and then they lost Benson. You know, every running back in their mama's getting hurt there. It's not Arizona's, you know, it's tough. I'm going Dallas, man.
All right. And then we have Raiders at Denver. We kind of covered it with the Raiders. Can't trust them to win. Denver's playing fucking awesome on Thursday night next week. I'm on Denver.
Yeah, you got to take Denver. It's a divisional game, but it's in Denver. Denver's rolling. The Raiders are not. Got to go Denver.
Oh, and that's our pick. We have a little bit less than 2 minutes left. Any final closing thoughts?
No, man. That's all I got. I'm waiting for the week where you just like start flipping all my picks to see if you can have some wild ass comeback. But I would just say, be patient. You still have a half a season of football, and it could just as easily flip next week as it's been the first half. So, slow and steady wins the race. Obviously, it's easy for me to say that, but I'm just blown away that you're having this down of a season. I'm wondering what it is.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't know. It is what it is, though. But for those still watching, subscribe, again, share it with your friends, get us views. I need money.
I need money, yes. And as long as we're having fun. So thank you, James, for taking us out there. And I don't know, I'll hit you up in 10 minutes if you want to keep chatting, man.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut, hut, hike.